You ain't normal, man.
Yeah, well, at least I have an owner.
Puh, you can't own me. I'm a wild animal.
Exactly. So let's get you back in the cage. Soups is probably missing me.
Missing? Ha! The dude tied you up to a stop sign and went into that shelter to buy you a new friend so that you give him some space. Gotcha.
Superman would never do that.
What's literally happening right now. I'm just glad that new friend ain't me. Easy, Carl. Stop acting like you don't know me.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Movie Oblivion, the podcast about feature films based on comic books and comic strips that people have stopped talking about. We're your hosts, Jordan and Kumar, that's me.
And me.
And this we're talking about DC League of Super Pets. I'm laughing already because I was just thinking about the comics we read this week.
Yeah, the comics. We read smack bang in the stupid age of comics.
Well, this is where our story begins because it's very rare to get an affordable trade paperback of Silver Age reprints of comics. So whenever they show up, I've got my eye out for them, and I buy them. And I bought this one called Tales of the Super Pets.
Tails.
That's right. And it came out, I don't know, if a couple of years ago, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, I'll buy that. And then I bought it, and then I set it aside. And then probably about a month ago, as all this new Superman movie stuff was ramping up, I saw this YouTube video about crypto. And I was like, okay, I'll watch this. And she immediately, one of the first things she mentioned was that there was a crypto movie starring The Rock. And I was like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
What? There was a crypto movie with The Rock in it?
Yeah.
And I Googled it, and it was from 2022. And I was like, as I mentioned at the end of last week, I've never heard of this, haven't seen a single review. None of my feeds had a single picture or mentioned that there was an animated CGI crypto movie. And then I opened up this trade paperback just a few weeks ago to just read it. I just bought it for kicks. It wasn't for the podcast.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the publication date was 2022. So it must have been published as a tie-in
Yes.
to the movie.
Almost certainly.
But then, when I mentioned to you about this crypto movie, you said, yes, I mentioned it in the Constantine episode.
Yeah.
So it's like the algorithm in my brain won't even process that it exists. Even when somebody tells me to my face, it's like in Westworld when a robot sees something that's not supposed to be in the world, they just don't see it.
The concept of an animated crypto movie starring The Rock, it just has no purchase on your version of reality.
No, absolutely. That's it. So, anyway, so basically what we'll do is we'll break down these super pets in the DC universe quickly.
Is that something you could do quickly?
I think I can, but I went on. Sometimes I would go onto the Wikipedia and just look at a character, and just crazy stuff would come up in the Wikipedia page. It was blowing my mind. Like, for example, I just for some reason went to look at Streaky the Super Cat, and there was a thing there that said Streaky has a descendant from the 30th century named Wizzy. I was like, what? And then I looked up Comet, and it was like Comet would occasionally turn human and have romances with Supergirl, also briefly with Lois Lane. I was like, what?
It's just Silver
And I found that
madness.
it was actually, there was one issue, and I found it was Lois Lane 92 or 97, and in it, Comet flies by in space, which means that
Comet is the super horse.
Yeah. So, but then Comet, the super horse, when an asteroid goes by, it turns him human because of his magic spell.
Yeah.
So he turns human, and he meets Lois, and he confesses everything to her, and she immediately falls for him because he's totally honest with her. Unlike Superman, she's like, whoa, this dude is telling me everything. But then the wizard who had turned Comet into this horse in the first place turns Lois into a horse. So she's running around as a flying horse for half of the issue, and neither of them know the other is who the other is. It was crazy, absolutely crazy.
This is very standard. This sounds wild, but this is very standard Silver Age.
And that was actually 69, so it was like a little bit later. It was at that era when DC should have been like wising up to the change in the times, but we're still Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, all that stuff was happening over at Marvel.
Yeah.
And DC was still going, Lois Lane turns into a horse for an issue.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so first we've got Crypto, the Superdog. Crypto first appeared in Adventure Comics number 210 in 1955.
This is a Superboy story, right?
Yeah, Superboy story, that's right. Yeah, Adventure Comics was a Superboy series. So basically, the origin of Krypto is that Jor-El, Superman's dad, of course, built a prototype rocket, as you would do, and sent this dog up into space.
As you do.
In cryosleep.
That's the first thing you send up. Okay.
Yeah, 2 years before Laika, though.
Oh, wow. Whoa, really?
I looked that up. I was like, what?
I didn't think to look that up. Whoa.
I think there must have been dogs before. Like, I don't.
No way. Laika was the first animal in space. Maybe you put dogs in your test.
I can't imagine that Otto Binder would have came up with this idea himself. We're going to send a dog into space. Anyway, test rocket goes up in space. He's in cryo sleep and gets knocked off course, I think, by an asteroid or something like that. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's an asteroid, and then it never returns. And Jor-El's just like, oh, well, it just didn't make it.
That's right. He's like, well, I have to send my kid up anyway, despite the failed test flight.
Why even have a test flight? Oh, well.
Yeah, but then, by pure coincidence, the capsule crash lands
There's
in
a lot
Smallville.
of coincidences in these stories.
Yeah. What are the chances, not only on Earth, in Smallville?
Yeah.
And causes all sorts of trouble for Superboy when he finds
lots of
his
super
dog.
trouble.
Yes, lots of super trouble, because this dog has superpowers. But he, because of his super memory and a note found in the capsule, Superboy realizes this was his pet dog from when he was a little baby.
Yes.
And they have all sorts of hijinks together. Another problem that often, like, Krypto rips the wing off an airplane.
Yep.
And Superman has to fix it back on.
Yep.
And another problem constantly in Smallville is Lana Lang is trying to figure out, she believes that Superboy is Clark Kent, or vice versa. Correctly. And there's a crazy bit where Krypto shows up with this big giant girder that he's pulled off a bridge.
Yeah.
And Superboy's like, oh no, I gotta get rid of this. And he throws it in space. He goes around and he throws it in space. And the Lana Lang comes around the corner. She's like, where's that girder? I know you threw it in space. And then he comes up with an explanation later plays a trick where he has Krypto fly by with a
wearing
cape.
his cape.
And she's like, oh, he's up there and you're down here.
Meanwhile, he's carrying a light.
Like an aluminum ladder.
Yeah,
and
except they call it magnesium.
Magnesium ladder. She's like, oh, I guess you're right.
Ladder.
This doesn't never explain what happened to that giant girder he was carrying around in the alley, which disappeared completely.
Yeah, well, he tossed it into space.
Yeah, but anyway,
nothing
Krypto
stays in space though. If you throw something into space, it comes back to Earth. That even happens in another one of the Krypto stories we read, with the sentient kryptonite narrating what was happening to it.
yes, that's right.
Like, Superman would throw the kryptonite back into space, and it would bounce off a red cloud and come straight back down to Earth again.
Yeah. So Krypto has had his own TV cartoon in 2005. There was a version of Krypto on Smallville. There was a version of Krypto on the Titans TV series from 2018.
Really?
And there was a version of Krypto on Superman and Lois. They're usually very different versions. He's usually like a laboratory test animal.
Okay.
Something like that. He only shows up for a couple episodes, usually, if he does. I think he's only in one episode of Smallville. He's almost never from Krypton.
Yeah. And Superman's childhood pet.
Yes.
Which is ludicrous.
Yes. Yes, it's crazy. There are some bits I love in the story, like he has to bathe him in lava and with barbed wire.
Yeah, he brushes his coat with barbed wire.
Yeah. And there's a great panel where he's chasing a cat, and the cat runs into this tiny hole in the wall, and Clark is like, oh, I don't have to worry about it. He won't be able to get in that little hole, and he just smashes a hole like the Wile E. Coyote that's shaped like a dog.
It's a dog-shaped hole. He makes him a doghouse out of rocks.
Yes. And he says, I know it's not going to tie him. I know this chain won't keep him here. He also puts up a sign that says, beware of dog.
Beware of Superdog.
And he's like, beware of Superdog. And he's like, I hope no one finds this dog. He says, actually, I hope no one finds this dog. But he's put this sign up anyway. And finally, when he does that trick to make Krypto fly to pretend to be him, he's actually thrown this boomerang which does crazy loop-de-loops and all sorts of crazy patterns. The dog will keep flying around.
Why does Superboy have a magic boom? This is, Superman is like a super inventor. We've discussed this. We've discussed this madness going right back to Tamil Superman, way back at the start of the podcast. the writers have no respect for the audience.
Yeah, I think, but there's a real sense in these stories of, like, kids like dogs. Boys want to have a pet dog, so what if Superman had a pet dog?
Well, that's all fine. I mean, that's why Crypto keeps popping up in show after show after show, because the idea of a superpowered dog is cool.
Yeah.
It's just all the other stuff.
Yes.
It's all the window dressing.
But I feel like they weren't thinking through. It wasn't even, in this case, I didn't feel it was quite as aggressive towards the kids this time. I felt it was more like, well, we didn't think this through. We forgot about the Gerger in the alleyway and all that sort of...
It's madness.
Yeah.
It's constant madness. In the end, Crypto because Crypto gives Superboy so much super dismay, Crypto just sort of flies off.
That's right.
Into space.
That's right.
And leaves the Earth. And Superboy says, oh, well, I guess, the universe is his backyard. Okay.
Yeah.
The universe is pretty big. But I hope he comes back one day.
Yeah.
And then he does come back.
He does come back, but he basically is not kept as a pet.
No, I believe he gets a pretty big upgrade in intelligence by our next story.
Yeah, there's questions about the intelligence of these creatures, which we'll talk about. So the next member the DC animal we should talk about is Beppo, the super monkey.
This is so...
First appeared in 1959. Beppo was a stowaway.
This is just crazy.
On Kal-El's baby rocket that came to Earth, who, I guess...
How did he stow away?
Don't know, Jor-El just didn't notice.
He didn't notice a bloody monkey hiding in your baby-sized rocket.
Yep. Yep. And when the crash happened, Beppo just tore a hole through the bottom of the rocket and ran away unnoticed. So later on, he shows up again, or he just has adventures around the world.
Yeah, he gets to live in the jungle and beats up panthers and...
Yeah, he throws, like, elephants into the lake, and he beats up a big gorilla that's, like, hoarding bananas.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And he wraps leaves around his monkey hand so that he doesn't kill the gorilla.
Yes. Yes.
It's so stupid. And also, we get the monkey's internal monologue.
That's right.
And he talks exactly like children talk.
PC children. Me hate big elephant. Me throw big elephant in lake. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting, and he always does that. He does that for the rest of in the other stories.
Why? But this goes back to your intelligence question. Why does he think like that, but not Crypto? Crypto has normal thoughts.
So Crypto and Streaky both think in plain English.
Yeah, and Streaky's just a plain old human, an Earth cat.
Yeah. That's right, not even a magic dog, not even an alien dog from Krypton. It's just a regular Earth cat that gets exposed to...
X-kryptonite, which was supposed to be a cure for kryptonite.
Actually, it's not. This is a trope. Actually, monkeys are often portrayed as dumb.
Yes.
In fiction, despite being almost the smartest animal on Earth, with like one exception, like human beings. But because monkeys remind us of inferior versions of ourselves, like dumb versions of people, we always make them dumb in fiction, despite them actually being incredibly smart.
That's right. So this monkey sees Super Baby in Smallville and flies over there, wants to play with Super Baby, and starts imitating Super Baby and steals his like clothes, so he's wearing like a red and blue outfit.
Yes,
like
and he's the same size as Super Baby.
Yep. And
Super Baby incidentally talks exactly like him.
That's right.
Me.
They're birds of a feather.
me not... the Super Monkey flies around just doing monkey stuff.
Yeah.
And causing mischief, and Super Baby keeps being blamed for the things that Beppo is doing. And, Super Baby says things like, me not do it.
Yes. Exactly. Now, also at this point, his name is not Beppo.
Oh, right, he hasn't been named.
There is a organ grinder in town, in Smallville, who has a monkey named Beppo.
That's right.
And for some reason, some writer forgot or something, it takes a very long time before Beppo the Super Monkey is actually ever called Beppo the Super Monkey.
Right, got it.
But I have a feeling like somebody got confused and his name is Beppo, but that was actually the name of the Smallville organ grinder's monkey. But he also, more so even than Crypto, at the end of stories will just go off to space to have fun.
Yep.
On some other planet. He'll just randomly show up, a bit like Mr. Mixel's Pitalik will just show up in town once in a while.
Cause mischief.
Exactly.
Monkey hijinks.
Streaky, as you mentioned, the year after, so the 1960s, is a cat, Supergirl's pet cat.
Has a white streak along its side.
That's right. So she calls
So
him
instead of calling it something cool like lightning or
Yeah.
bolt, she calls it streaky.
That's right.
It's a terrible name for a cat. Streaky is already thinking in plain English before it's even exposed to
Yeah.
X kryptonite.
Yeah.
Which is a marble-sized piece of kryptonite that Supergirl treated with various chemical compounds trying to find an antidote to green kryptonite. Then when this incredibly dangerous substance, she fails to get any results from it, she throws it in...
She throws it out the window. She just thought, well, done with that. And then every once in a while, Streaky will find it and gain superpowers, but eventually it seems like Streaky has powers all the time. So
Right.
I don't know what happened in between there.
In the
but
ones I read, they kept wearing off.
yeah, exactly. Initially, it would just wear off,
Right.
and then somehow,
They became permanent.
by the time we get to Legion of Super Pets, we never have to go through this rigmarole with the X Kryptonite anymore.
Maybe he swallowed it at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Comet, 1962.
This is the best one of all.
The Super Horse.
This is goddamn Super Horse.
Super Horse. He was a centaur back in mythological Greece, and he was in love with Circe the witch.
Yeah, seriously, from the Odyssey.
That's right. And Circe, there was this enemy wizard who
Tried to poison Circe.
by
By pouring poison in the well that she was... Or the spring that she was accustomed to drinking from. Then the centaur catches him and stops him. And Circe is so grateful... grants his fondest wish,
Yeah.
which is to become human.
That's right.
So that he can date Circe.
That's right.
She says, here are the two potions. This one will make you into a human. This one will make you into a horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't
Why?
drink the horse one.
Why did she make two potions in the first place? That is the problem with this story.
Then, of course, she gives him the wrong potion.
They've been swapped by the enemy wizard.
The wizard who has access to her house and her potions, why was he poisoning the spring?
Yep. Yeah, why was he doing that?
So then, to make up for the fact that she's turned him into a horse forever, she gives him another potion which gives him the powers of all the gods,
Yeah.
including telepathy, which is apparently Neptune's province. Who knew?
Right.
And then the wizard sees that and is jealous or angry. So then
He goes to his master, like his mentor wizard, and the mentor wizard is like, well, he's associated with the constellation Sagittarius. Is that how it works?
I can't remember.
And then he's like, what is he?
Pour this magic powder on him when
Yeah.
he's sleeping, and he'll be rocketed to Sagittarius.
he just zipped like it's a tractor beam, takes him up to Sagittarius. By the way, constellations, those stars are far apart. Like, they are not in any way spatially related to each other.
Yeah, that's right.
They just look that way
From here? Yeah.
from Earth in 2D.
Yes.
Anyway, he's supposedly stuck in the constellations on like an asteroid.
Yeah.
But
So it's an asteroid. It's not even... Yeah. And then there's a magic field around the asteroid so that he can't escape.
that's right.
And then he's stuck there for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Doesn't go mad. Then, Supergirl's rocket
Yeah.
from Argo City goes...
happens
Just again.
to bash it. It's actually got an asteroid repellent on it or something.
Yeah.
So that the rocket will be safe. Anyway, that unleashes the
Kryptonian
magic.
asteroid repellent fields
Cancels magic.
cancels out magic fields.
That's right. Which is
They can interact, these two
that
forces.
is a violation of Superman continuity because magic is one of the things he is vulnerable to.
Yeah, good point.
So that rocket should not have been able to disable that magic.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with this story.
Yeah.
And then he's free, he follows her to Earth, and then he starts sending her telepathic dreams
Yeah.
where he's saving her from
Yeah. She's
trouble.
being saved by super horses or assisted by
And
the
she
super
becomes
horse.
infatuated with the super horse.
Yeah. She's staying on a ranch, by the way.
She goes to the
Supergirl Dude Ranch.
Ranch, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nuts.
But he, unlike those other guys who fly away to space, he actually maintains a secret identity in that he's like a movie horse. Or he hangs out with herds of horses. Like he just runs around with them. And he's like, I can't allow my identity to get out. I'm not
Why
sure
does a horse need a secret identity?
I'm not sure.
Why?
I'm not sure. But the bigger question is, why does a dog need a secret identity?
Yeah. Does a dog have a secret identity, or is he just crypto all the time?
He's crypto all the time, but Ace the Bat Hound, who is our next hero, the first
He's
four,
got a secret identity.
the first four have powers, and they all end up forming the Legion of Super Pets, who are kind of substitutes for the Legion of Superheroes whenever they're away from their base.
There's one panel of them all sitting. You've got to put this in the episode art.
Yeah, I will. I've already decided on it. Yeah.
where they're all sitting at podiums. And it has their
Yes, the
names
Legion
at the front.
podiums. Yeah, absolutely. They are official members hanging out there at the Legion base. And like trying out new members a bit like the Legion does whenever somebody wants to join.
That's right, one of the stories is them trying out a new member.
Yeah, which is Prody, who was Chameleon Boy's pet blob. Pet blob, actually, yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to get back to Ace the Bat Hound.
Ace the Bat Hound. Okay, so the way this story works is there was this kind of... this guy who was like an engraver in Gotham City, and he's kidnapped. But they've got his... I think his dog is missing too or something. So anyway, Bruce Wayne went around putting up posters for this lost dog. I might be getting this wrong. I should just be reading it off the Wikipedia. Anyway, later on, he found the dog and used the dog to help find the guy. But because Bruce Wayne was seen putting up pictures of the dog, he had to hide the dog's identity so that people would know it was the same dog that Bruce Wayne was looking for.
It has a distinctive mark on its head, on its forehead.
Right.
And Batman says, Batman can't be seen with this dog with its distinctive mark because Bruce Wayne was associated with this dog.
That's right.
So I'll put a mask on him.
Yeah. Eventually, when Batman adopts Ace completely away from this engraver, he has this kind of setup, like a contraption with the mask in it so that the dog can just walk into it and the mask will attach itself to his face. And Batman also has a transmitter in his boot which signals into the dog collar.
Right. Yeah.
I just want to read a little bit. I want to read a quote from Alan Moore about Ace the Bat Hound. This was from the Chain Reaction interview, which I've read from before. But Stuart Lee was asking him about how after doing From Hell, Alan Moore went on to do a series called Supreme, which was a pastiche of Superman, including all the dogs and the horses and everything.
Yeah.
And Stuart Lee says...
The weird thing about you going through all that sort of darkness of From Hell and those very sinister notions is that the next work I was kind of aware of is you're going back to much more innocent approach to the superhero genre with Supreme and some of the subsequent stuff with ABC. And you weren't embarrassed about there being a super dog and whatever. In fact,
I loved all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I remembered what it was that I'd actually enjoyed about Superman when I'd been a kid. And, yeah, all right, there's the power fantasy, I suppose. You know, like, gosh, if I was Superman, then people wouldn't beat me up. But that's not really it. I think that it was purely because Superman and characters like that, they suddenly opened up this kind of wonderful dimension of the imagination that I previously hadn't had access to, because these ideas were brilliantly stupid. You know, I mean, dogs with capes. and Batman's dog had got a mask.
Yeah.
In case any of the other dogs recognised him.
Yeah.
And when they're in the Legion of Super Pets, Saturn Girl has to use her telepathic powers to make them all able to communicate with each other. So...
Oh, is that why they're able to... I just think it's like all pet... It's like this movie where...
I have big questions about the movie, about how these animals are able to communicate. But in this case, most of those animals... it's telepathers. Comic can communicate thoughts to Supergirl.
Yeah, because of his Neptunian
That's
telepathy.
right. But... the other pets cannot speak to people or each other. They need Saturn Girls to act as a medium.
It's hilarious that they bothered to explain it. I think quite often in fiction, animals can just talk to one another.
Yes.
That there's a secret life that animals have where they all interact with one another. And it's just we're kept separate from it as human beings because we're not animals.
Right. Well, even the Saturn Girl thing, they don't bother going to that. Much like Streaky and the Ex-Kryptonite, they just stop. We'll just cut this part of the story out. They almost just forgot about it. Like they're all just kind of talking to each other. Eventually,
but everything's got to have a dumb explanation.
Yes.
It's even things that are better not explained.
Yes, but that's kind of. That's what continuity was back in those days, and that was the currency as a kid when you memorized those data. That was like, oh, I know how Streaky is able to communicate, or I know where this animal got his powers from.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing was the kind of that was valuable
reward.
to kids.
Yeah, I got you.
Right.
So, but for an example of this, in one story that we read with the one that I mentioned about that was with the sentient lump of kryptonite.
Yeah.
So in that volume, in one point, as Superman loses his powers and they're transferred to Jimmy Olsen,
Yes.
and he becomes Olsen Man.
Yes. Super Olsen, I believe.
Super Olsen, yeah, that's it. And he doesn't need a secret identity. Why? Doesn't matter. But this process is done by a machine
Yes.
that was lying around in Antarctica.
Yes, but the
outside
problem is
Fortress
this whole
of
story.
Solitude.
This is one of the worst, crazy stories. But the problem is, it turns out to be a dream.
Yeah. It does turn out to be a dream. There's a bit of that too in Comet the Horse issue, because Supergirl's having all these adventures, and it does state that it's a dream at the start, but often I would just forget.
Yes.
But anyway, this machine that was lying around outside Antarctica, Superman at one point actually says, this is in a dream, incidentally, that Krypto, the dog, is having. So the dog is having this vivid dream from the perspective of Superman.
Yeah.
Superman says, it must have been planted there by my enemies.
Yes.
So, you didn't need to say that.
Yeah, right.
That just raises more questions.
Yes, they're trying to fill in plot holes, absolutely, that they're, like, failing at. Oh, yeah, and then in that story, it's great. Jimmy Olsen turns the ray on his, like, donkey. And
it turns out Krypto.
It takes Krypto's powers
and gives it to a donkey.
And gives it to a donkey, and then he flies away on a donkey.
Super Olsen is a real jerk.
He is an absolute...
But none of it was real. It was just a dream that Krypto was having.
Yeah.
At one point he goes to his doghouse of solitude, which was my favourite line from that particular comic, which was up in space, and yet it was still made out of shitty rocks like it was originally.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's
non-stop himself with
non-stop madness.
Yeah.
At one point, like, Superman becomes the head of the Super Olsen fan club.
Yeah, that's right. He's just holding meetings, showing videos of Super Olsen performing features,
and telling stories about when he used to be Superman.
Yeah, very bizarre. I really wanted to... there's stories about Mort Weisinger being in, like, therapy, like, analysis at this time.
Right.
And supposedly Alan Moore says that a lot of stories came out of those sessions.
Oh, God, I believe it.
So I really wanted... And a lot of it was, like, feelings of inadequacy towards Superman. Like, Mort Weisinger felt inferior to Superman, kind of stuff. All sorts of crazy stuff.
Well, this particular episode is very much like about that, isn't it? Because Superman is feeling inferior to Jimmy Olsen.
Super Jimmy, yeah, absolutely.
And Krypto refuses to leave him.
Yeah.
Because Super Olsen wants Krypto.
Yeah.
He's decided he needs a super pet, and it's a waste of time for Krypto to be hanging out with a depowered loser.
Yeah.
So Superman's worried that Krypto's going to leave him as his only friend, and Krypto, who can't communicate with Superman despite being able to bark in Morse code and being an intelligent super dog, is also anxious and never wants to leave Superman, is determined to stay with him, and yet they can't talk to one another. Remember, Super Olsen's running around engineering all these shenanigans to try and discredit Krypto so that he'll come and be his dog. And then in the finish, he just uses the machine to give his powers to a donkey. And he flies away on the donkey.
Yeah.
I'd rather your powers are better off with this donkey. It's just...
Did you read also the other story in this issue? This one isn't in the trade paperback, but the issue where Clark is affected by red kryptonite.
Yes, that's the one with the sentient lump of kryptonite.
That's right, and then he ends up giving Krypto the power to speak. Yeah. So Krypto is outside the window using ventriloquism to speak English.
There's so much ventriloquism in these.
Yeah.
Krypto's speaking English, so he can sound exactly like Superman despite having a dog's mouth.
Yes.
He does Clark's voice, even though Clark can only speak in Kryptonian.
That's right.
Meanwhile, Clark's tried various other schemes, like enlarging a guy from Kandor, the Bottle City, but then forgetting to put away the red kryptonite.
Yeah.
And so the Kandorian guy ends up speaking in Kryptonian as well.
Yeah.
He tries to program one of his robots to go and impersonate him, because of course he has robots. And the robot explodes.
He speaks Kryptonian to the robot, and the robot cannot compute, and his
like
head
a Star
explodes.
Trek robot.
Yes.
Trying to divide by zero.
Yeah.
Well, why am I speaking Kryptonian to a robot? Make it explode.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm laughing now, but reading these comics, it feels like my brain is being tied in knots.
Yeah.
I find it really stressful.
You have to be in the zone. Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, the whole story is being narrated by the kryptonite.
That's right. That's right. That's right. This was, by the way, this is Superman number 177. If anyone wants to look for it or read it online, with those two,
you might want to. You might want to. I don't know. You know, you need to be in the right headspace. You might need to have a drink first or something.
Okay, now let's get to this movie. Unless there's anything else you wanted to mention about the Legion of Super Pets or Ace the Bat Hound.
No, it's just the Ace the Bat Hound's the first one that appears in the Tales of the Super Pets volume.
Yeah.
They have to go and pick him up from
That's right.
the engraver's house because they need him to foil a super not an evil dog, but a dog that's being trained to perform crimes.
Yes, that's right. The owner of that dog doesn't want the dog to be committing these crimes.
No, but the gang is threatening to shoot the dog if he doesn't make the dog...
Jump over, like, a gate and then open the door from the other side. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And the best bit's at the end where Batman dresses up as the old man who trains the dog, and they powder up Ace the Wonder Dog to make it the same colour as the other dog. And these stupid crooks can't tell that they're not the same people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Batman looks exactly like an old dog trainer.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, absolutely.
It's great.
Okay, so we have this movie in 2022. I'm guessing it was a lockdown project. I don't know. Maybe I have more data about that.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Directed by somebody named Jared Stern, who was a writer on Lego Batman, which is a great movie.
Yes.
Co-written by John Whittingham. Whittington. Also a writer on Batman. Also wrote the Sonic
Lego Batman
movies.
Oh, really? I didn't.
This guy 2 and 3 at least, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we talk about the cast first, or just go through it and mention the cast as they come up?
Good question. The cast is going to come. All right, let's just jump in, and because this is, as we hinted at last week, the cast in this movie, it's just chock-a-block. I guess you didn't need to get all these people in a room, so you could just cast.
Yeah, that's right.
You could just cast whoever you wanted to have cameos, bit parts,
and if it's lockdown, probably happy to do it. Get some work.
Happy to be working.
Yeah.
It's okay. So first of all, we've got to mention I suppose our two main characters who are Crypto the Wonder Dog and Ace the Bat Hound.
Yeah.
Who are played respectively by The Rock.
Yep.
Who as Crypto in an interesting and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
As Ace.
Now it seems like at this point, The Rock was trying to take creative control over DC Studios.
Yeah.
At this point in history, when the Black Adam movie came out that same year.
Yeah.
And he was making grumbling about all sorts of stuff, changing things in that movie.
Yes. Yes. And he made an Instagram post, which I thought I'd written down in my notes, but apparently I didn't. Oh no, here we go. In August 2022, he made a post showing the end credit scene where he personally voices 3 characters in that end credit scene.
Yeah.
Crypto the dog.
Yeah.
Black Adam, who appears in that scene, we don't see his face. And Black Adam's dog.
Yeah.
Who I forget. I don't know what's the name of this dog. I don't know. It doesn't have a name. It looks
Dog
kind of like
Adam.
an Ubis. And in this post, The Rock is claimed he's pretty much indicating that he wants to flesh out a whole cinematic continuity around, quote, the Super Pets and Black Adam.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
He said there were major plans to flesh out, quote, in all caps, a DC Super Pets universe that will be tied into the Black Adam DC universe. Whatever that means.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, as you say, he wanted creative control. He thought he could single-handedly with the engine of his popularity. It didn't work.
No.
Because Black Adam was a big mess.
Oh, by the way, we should mention that The Rock gets a fascinating for being on that episode of Voyager where he played a wrestler.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I do have that in there in my notes. He has been on Star Trek.
It just occurred to me just now.
in one episode.
Yeah.
Where there's like an alien fighting tournament.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we start
He
with...
does the eyebrow thing when he first appears.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, like, if your movie's being headlined by The Rock and Kevin Hart, I'm already checked out. I have no interest in any kind of corporate product where these two...
No, you know what? I like Kevin Hart. more than I like Kevin Hart. He doesn't have any good lines in this movie. I laughed. I laughed a few times in this movie. Not a lot, but a few times.
I did too.
But
Mostly
it was
mythology.
never for Kevin Hart.
No. Mostly at mythology gags. Or gags taking the mick out of DC.
Yes.
I laughed at those, but no one ever says anything funny. In fact, I was rolling my eyes a lot of the time, especially when The Rock's delivering cringe dialogue in his The Rock voice.
I have to believe he was rewriting his stuff. It sounds like he's a creative control freak.
Oh, it'd be really funny. He sounds exactly like The Rock. Most of the time, I didn't think I was looking at Crypto the Wonder Dog, or whatever the hell his name is, Crypto the Super Dog. I thought I was just looking at The Rock.
Yeah.
It took me right out of the film. But yeah, like you say, Kevin Hart's fine. But when you've just cast him because he's Kevin Hart alongside The Rock, because you just put those two guys in a film that you want to be a product that does well.
Yeah.
So I'm already checked out because I know that
they were in
this
a live action together. What was it?
Jumanji. They're in Jumanji together.
And there's something else too? CIA or Hart or something?
No, it's CIA, Central Intelligence. It's called Central Intelligence.
Oh, right, okay.
Kevin Hart was in the Secret Life of Pets movie as like an evil rabbit, I think. So now he's
Kevin Hart is also in Hobbs and Shaw in one or two scenes. So
exactly. So like I'm already thinking this movie is not a thing that exists in and of itself. This movie is another pairing.
100%. But I wouldn't, as a corporate product, I didn't even think about The Rock and Kevin Hart. I was like, the animation style, the whole approach. This is so generic.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, this is only a year before Mutant Mayhem. We've already had the Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah.
We can come out of the CGI animation age into something that's really interesting.
It's funny.
But this is just like very by the book. You know what? Even if I think of a funny CGI animal movie, I think of like Kung Fu Panda. This is like operating nowhere. This is just like a product. Like,
exactly. In fact, it looks just like The Secret Life of Pets.
Yes, right.
And in fact, promotional material for this movie directly referenced The Secret Life of Pets.
Right.
The tagline on one poster was, "All pets have secrets, there's a super."
Yeah, right.
So it's like, you like Secret Life of Pets? Go and see Secret Life of Pets with superpowers.
Right.
So lame.
Right. Yep. So that was, for me, that was the thing that got me. And the whole, that kind of floppy arm animation, CGI animation style was, to me, just like so bland.
Yeah.
To me, that was what really, to me, was like, okay, this is just corporate product. Anyway, we start on Krypton with the rocketing of the baby to Earth. It's based on
directly referencing Superman.
Yeah, they even got the John Williams theme in there, and it's like the white outfits are similar to the Donner version.
Here, I will mention the actors who are playing Jor-El and Lara. Jor-El is being played by Alfred Molina.
Yeah, Dr. Octopus.
Who was Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Man movies. He'll be back.
Okay.
He'll be back.
All right.
Also, the playing Lara, Superman's mother, is Lena Headey.
Yeah.
Who was in Dredd. So this is her second appearance.
Right. Absolutely right. I forgot about that, because whenever I think of her, I always think of Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Right. not Game of Thrones.
Not Game of Thrones. I do, but for some reason my brain goes to Terminator. Right. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. But anyway, they put the baby in the capsule, and then his pet dog Crypto jumps in the capsule.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, whatever, let him go.
Yeah. So well, they can't stop it at this point. He's already going into space. Yeah, and Jor-El says, he'll need someone to look after him. He meaning,
Well, it's actually Lara's like, don't worry. Our boy will need a friend. And lets him go to the Earth in the crystal capsule from the Donner version.
Yeah, looks rad.
And then we jump to the present. Now, Crypto, we've got a grown-up Superman, played by John Krasinski, voiced by John Krasinski.
Yep.
He, by the way, was apparently very close to getting the Captain America role before Chris Evans got it.
I can't believe that.
Well, it seems hard to believe, but if you watch his Jack Ryan series, whenever he takes his shirt off, this is the biggest guy. I don't know what kind of training regimen he was doing, if it was for Jack Ryan or what, but he absolutely could have done Captain America.
Yeah, I mean...
And he's he's kind of an all-American kind of guy, He's got that vibe about him. Wholesome,
It's just hard to imagine anyone but Chris Evans as Captain America, I suppose. Maybe that's why I'm having so much trouble processing this. I just didn't think he was at a stage in his career where...
No, I don't think Chris Evans was either.
Exactly.
But Chris Evans had done Human Torch, I guess.
Yeah. So he had superhero...
Yeah,
it's hard.
yeah.
It scarcely matters. Anyway, John Krasinski has appeared in the MCU as playing Reed Richards.
Oh, that's right. Of course he did.
In the Multiverse of Madness. A terrible film despite being directed by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Okay, so Crypto, we hear his thoughts. He speaks normally to us, the audience.
Yes.
I mean, he speaks to himself. He's talking to himself effectively, but other people can't understand.
No, but other animals can.
Other animals can. We'll get to that. He wants to go for walkies, which in this world means flying around with Superman.
Yep.
And we get a kind of montage of them fighting crime, but also doing, like, super stuff in the park, like catching a ball in crazy ways, or, like, saving a train, or flying to Paris to buy a croissant for Lois Lane. At this point, Superman meets Lois in the park. At this point in the relationship, they're dating. He's about to propose.
Yep.
Later in the movie.
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right. Crypto learns from some other dogs in the park because he's kind of naive that basically Lois is going to become number one in Clark's life and Crypto's going to become number two. He initially didn't see the problem.
Despite being a super intelligent dog that's been alive for more than 20 years, he's completely clueless about humans.
Yes. And the relationship
and
with
relationships.
Animals. Yeah.
Like, how dumb is he?
Yeah. There is he meets these other dogs in the park who explain this business to him. There's a bit of funny dialogue about them eating their vomit and stuff. But, you know, every movie like this is trying to be Toy Story. You know, like they're trying to make every line snappy and once or twice it works, but
yeah, most of the time I don't. It felt the same watching The Secret Life of Pets. It's like it's really grating.
Yeah. And he says things like pop up and away, and do you want my potograph instead of autograph? And his father's name Dog Owl.
Oh, that's pretty good. Played by
Keith
David, who doesn't actually have any other comic book movie credits.
Right.
I think he's in Superhero Movie.
Right, okay.
Actually, so is Kevin Hart.
But it's one of those things, I don't think they did it too much in this movie, but I don't like it when they do these kind of dog movies where everything is an animal pun. Because it makes you wonder, that would mean the human world if my name was Human and your name was like Man Jordan or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's nonsensical.
And also, it's only Crypto that does it. The other animals don't.
Yeah.
And also, The Rock is delivering it in his charisma-free rock voice.
Yeah.
Like, he can't deliver... He just sounds like The Rock saying these words.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... I think The Rock is charismatic. So perhaps charisma is not the right word.
But Get Shorty, he's great in that.
He just doesn't have the... I don't think he's a very great voice actor, for example.
No.
It just sounds like The Rock reading lines.
I think this is an issue in this movie, is the stunt casting.
Yes.
And not casting people who are voice actors.
Yes.
The one who plays... There's this super cat that shows up later on. It's not Streaky, but this one that plays...
Whiskers.
Whiskers. Great. That actress is like an actual... Seems to be a voice actress, not a celebrity...
She can act. And actually, it's a sole credit on IMDb. And according to, I read somewhere that she's voiced by the director's friend's daughter.
Great.
So she's the best voice actor in, one of the better performances in the movie.
Absolutely, yeah.
And she's just some kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But big problem with the stunt casting. I agree.
Cut to an animal rescue shelter. There are all these animals in there, including a dog. There's a pig. A
potbelly pig,
There's a turtle. Pig. There's a guinea pig called Lulu.
Yeah, voiced by Kate McKinnon from SNL.
She's good.
She's great.
She's really good in this, actually. I looked forward to hearing her speak. Whenever she spoke, I was like, okay, now it's on.
Yeah.
Please cut away from the other people so we can hear more of Kate McKinnon in this. Also, I mean, even the pig is... I mean, most of these are...
Who's the pig?
The chipmunk is Diego Luna.
Yes.
Vanessa Bayer is the pig. So
Oh,
that's
you're
another
right.
SNL.
Another SNL person, yeah. So she's fine.
Yeah. By the way, Chip the chipmunk, or squirrel, I don't know what he is. There is an actual Green Lantern named Chip who is a squirrel.
Oh, that's cool.
CH''P. So this is a bit of a tweak
mythology
on that character.
gag.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
They don't really lay it on too thick either. I mean, you see him briefly at the end in Green Lantern gear with
But they do say that he's in a relationship with that Green Lantern, that actual Earth Green Lantern.
Yeah, she's not a real relationship. He's her pet. He just makes a joke. He says she put a ring on it, meaning she gave him a Green Lantern ring, and now he's a Green Lantern.
Okay.
They didn't get
But
engaged.
they speak to each other. Actually, the rings allow you to speak to animals and stuff, I believe.
They do. That's right, they do.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, so Ace keeps telling these other pets these other animals, rescue animals, are very sad that there's a place called the
farm upstate.
The farm upstate that they'll all go to. It's a glorious. There is a good gag in here about where he talks about the animal farm, and one of the others says that doesn't sound ominous at all. I was like, okay, that's good. You get points for that one.
There are some funny kind of gags like that that I would say probably Jared Stern was responsible for before The Rock got his hands on it.
Yes. It feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like these two writers who can write.
There are veins of humour and pathos running through it.
Yeah.
But there's also a whole lot of crappy dog puns and other crap.
Yes. Now, Lulu is building some kind of death ray in her cell.
Yeah.
And it's just made of garbage, and they're like, "You realize that's just garbage, don't you? Like, you're not actually."
She's talking about world domination.
Yeah.
She's like an evil. She's an evil guinea pig.
That's right. So Clark Kent shows up at this animal shelter. He's looking to buy another pet that will be a friend to Crypto. After he marries Lois, so that Crypto won't feel left out or lonely or anything like that. He's left outside in his secret identity as Bart Kent. He wears glasses.
Buck Kent.
Yes, Bart Kent. Okay. But Ace orchestrates an escape at this moment. He tries to run away from the animal shelter, and he meets Bart Kent outside and explains to him that your master, Clark Kent, is in there buying another pet, and you're being totally naive. But he turns into his crypto identity at this
because
point.
Because Ace says that he's escaping.
Yes,
I mean, he says, I'm in the middle of a prison break.
That's right.
And because Crypto is so naive, because he's had so little interaction with anyone except Superman, assumes he's a criminal and stops him.
Yeah, he has this method where he taps, like, his collar, and it turns into the S shield and the cape. They, like, pop out of there.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's kind of fun. I think Superman decides not to buy a pet at this point. I can't remember.
Superman just leaves.
Yes, that's right. And by the way, there was a good gag in here at some point where somebody says, "Have you had anything to drink today?" And they said, "I've had 2 toilets and a bidet."
That's later on. That's later on when he's urinating on the fountain when.
Oh, okay.
When Crypto's trying to give an inspirational speech.
Oh, okay. I remember what the toilet gag here I liked was Crypto says, "I'm a totally ordinary dog," and then you see him. He's actually used the toilet and flushed it, and he's like flying in midair.
Then he washes his hands in the sink.
Yes. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
Washes his paws, I should say.
Yes. At this point, we meet Lex Luthor, voiced by Marc Maron.
Yes.
That was a good choice, actually. Pretty inspired choice for Lex Luthor. He has built this tractor beam to pull down this
enormous orange kryptonite meteor.
Yeah.
Orange kryptonite, he tells us right out, gives people superpowers.
Yes. I don't believe there is any orange kryptonite in Silver Age continuity that I know of. I could be wrong about that.
Oh, okay. Well, they've made it's fine though because there's a billion different kinds of kryptonite.
Yes.
It's all good. It's perfectly in keeping with the kind of what kryptonite does and can do.
Absolutely.
Which is anything the writer wants.
Yes.
So, despite Lex not actually committing any crimes at this point, he's just tractoring a meteorite.
Yeah.
Crypto and Superman show up and put a stop to it.
Yes.
Because they just don't want him having any contact with kryptonite at all.
Yeah.
So we have a kind of a big fight. The rest of the Justice League shows up.
Yes.
And
do we want to mention any of them? Batman is Keanu.
We have to mention him because this is his second appearance.
Yeah.
He was in Constantine. Now he's played Batman. He does a great Batman. You can hardly tell it's...
I was surprised. I forgot who was Batman. I had to flip back. I was like, who's doing this voice again?
Because he's not just
He's not
speaking
doing the
in his
surfer
own
voice.
voice.
That's right,
He's
yeah.
actually doing... He's acting.
Yes.
Some of these other guys could have done some acting.
Yeah. Actually, Green Lantern, Jemaine Clement, is pretty good. He's funny.
Oh, no, he's Aquaman. He's Aquaman.
Oh, Aquaman, sorry. His first line is pretty funny. He could have used a few more, I think. But
Well, it's just, as you said, I mean, he's fine. But again, it's just stunt casting. Like, Jemaine Clement probably banged it out in an afternoon from New Zealand.
Absolutely.
Incidentally, he's going to be in Rogue Trooper.
Oh, really?
He was in Men in Black 3.
Right.
And he's also in the Lego Batman movie.
Okay, so he's going to hit 4.
Yeah, if we do all those films, yeah.
Okay. So big fight with the Justice League, but some shards are broken off of this orange. It doesn't work on Lex Luthor.
Well, Lex he gets into his big suit that he's often wearing, his big robot suit, and he shoots a missile at the kryptonite, and he says, I just need a piece.
Yeah.
The Flash runs around collecting them all, but Lex manages to snag one.
Yeah.
He holds it, he gets ready to fly, nothing happens. He says, wait, I was supposed to get superpowers. Then Keanu Reeves as Batman shows up and says, they're overrated.
Yes.
Which I admit chuckling at. And punches him out, and Krypto or Superman pick up the final remaining small chunk of orange kryptonite and chuck it into space.
Yes.
Where it is promptly tracted again, but this time not by Lex, but by Lulu.
Guinea pig Lulu.
The guinea pig.
Yeah.
Incidentally, she has a funny habit of repeating exactly what Lex had said in a previous scene.
Yes.
And she has a great line where she says, I've gone even further than Lex because I discovered that orange kryptonite does not work on humans. It only works on pets.
Not animals, pets.
Which I was so pleased to hear.
Yeah. It seems ridiculous, but one of those Legion stories, this happened. These brains came down from outer space and were controlling all the Legion and Superboy, but the pets were fine because it didn't affect animal brains. Because I guess human and animal brains are so different.
Yeah, but here instead of...
And in fact, most of the Legion are not human beings. They're from other planets.
Exactly. So it's really... it was really clever to say it only affects pets.
Yes.
I loved that.
Yeah.
She promptly gets a telekinesis.
Yes, that's right.
And she busts out of the pound or wherever they are, the animal shelter, and leaves the other animals to die in a fire. But the orange kryptonite has given them powers as well. Ace has invulnerability and super strength. The pig can change size, like Ant-Man. Yeah. The tortoise, who, again, every single line the tortoise says is a bit,
Right, yes.
A bit grating after a while. She's voiced by Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
She'll be back.
Okay.
Big time.
Huh, okay.
Big time.
I don't really know her. She's a big star, but I don't know who she is.
She sort of had a kind of checkered career. She was big in she was like in American Pie and movies like that.
Oh, okay.
And then she seems to have had she struggled with addiction and she had to have open heart surgery or something like that.
Wow, okay.
But lately she's making a comeback in a big way, yeah.
Okay, good.
But anyway, she's going to be in the Smurf movie this year, for example.
Right, okay. Oh, I did see her name associated with that.
Yeah.
She's Smurfette, I think.
Right.
Okay.
Right, so she'll be back.
Okay.
Back with a vengeance. Okay. Just like her career.
Yeah. Good. And what was so Chip got electrical powers.
Yes.
The turtle goes super fast, gets super speed.
Yeah.
Was that all of them?
That was all of them, yeah.
Okay, now
they bust out. Meanwhile, then Lulu the hamster goes to Clark's apartment.
Yeah.
Clark and Krypto have a fight, and Krypto goes to watch the Great British Bake Off by himself.
Yes. Well, that's what they're supposed to do, like, every Friday night is watch Bake Off together, British Bake Off together.
Yeah.
But Clark is going on a date with Lois. He's going to propose to her. There's a funny bit here where Clark irons his shirt using his heat vision on a mirror.
Yep.
I mean, there were moments in this movie, brief moments, where I was like...
Stuff that Jared Stern wrote, I would say.
Yeah.
And, so they fight, but then since Clark is at the front door, Lulu is there, and she's giving this grand speech. She says, "Kal-El, you will kneel before me," all this stuff. It's really cool. And then, of course, we cut away, and she's just making guinea pig noises.
Guinea pig squeaks. I like that. That happens twice in the movie where you have a swap and you actually see what noises are coming out of the creature, and they're just squeaking noise. Her squeaking. It was really pretty good, actually.
And she's got a chunk of green kryptonite that she's liberated from Lex's labs.
Yeah.
As Superman, she takes him out.
Oh yeah, so we learned that she was a lab animal.
Oh right, for Lex
Luthor.
Yeah.
And she...
But she thinks she was his peer.
That's right.
We can see that she wasn't.
No,
She's literally a test animal. She wasn't even his pet.
Yeah.
But to her, they were scientists working together on world domination.
That's right. And when that operation of Luthor's was shut down, she was taken to this animal shelter.
By Crypto, and she blames him for that.
Right.
Yeah, you know, she's just... Yeah. She lost all her fur as well. She's bald.
Yes, that's right.
Because Lex, I think Lex exposed her.
Yes.
Yes, like she's very proud of it that she's bald like Lex.
Yeah.
But it happened because he exposed her to some chemical or something as a test.
Yes.
So Superman gets taken out, and she says, "You didn't try to hide yourself very well." As she strips off his outfit and reveals the super costume, she says, "Maybe you should have tried a mustache."
That was good. That was really good. I did like that. And then in the next moment, when they're fighting out on the street. By the way, a guinea pig fighting Superman is good.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's cool. More of that, please.
But Lois calls the Justice League, and she gets like the menu options. It's for Earth 1, press 1, for Earth 2, press 2.
Very good. Very good.
Really good.
I wrote both of those jokes down in the same notes.
Yes, I've written them down right here. Mustache, Earth 1 is what I've written down in my notes.
That's what I wrote, the same thing. And Crypto eats a chunk of cheese.
He finds a random chunk of cheese and eats it.
Crypto has headphones on. He's listening to Taylor Swift sing Bad Blood. So, you know, Clark is calling for help from Crypto. It's because he's been exposed to the green kryptonite, but Crypto can't hear him. Then Crypto... It was hidden inside Squeaky Bruce, which is his Batman squeaky toy, which had been left in the corridor. And Lulu put a piece of cheese in Squeaky Bruce so that when Crypto squeaked Squeaky Bruce, it fell out. He ate the cheese, assuming it had been left there by Superman, but it had been left there by Lulu, and it has a small piece of green kryptonite in it. So Crypto is depowered.
Yes.
It's actually quite clever. It all makes up.
Because there's a comment about how they always put medicine in the cheese or in the food. That is clever, actually, yeah. I did like that, too. So Lulu makes off with Superman, carries off a piece of his cape, and actually wears it as her own superhero cape, supervillain cape.
Yes.
At this point, Crypto talks to the hologram of Dog L.
Played by Keith David, yes.
Yeah. And the other super pets are, like, in the park, trying to find they want to go to the farm.
They're relaxing in the park, and Chip is shooting off electricity into the air.
Yeah.
Crypto sees it and assumes that this is the Lulu.
Right.
And he heads off. He's trying to be a superhero, even though he's been depowered and he's been hit by a car and he's really messed up.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, those pets are in the park, and then they talk about going to the farm upstate, as you said.
There's a good line here, too, which is when Ace says, we want to go to the farm. So Ace knows it's not true.
Yeah.
And Crypto says, that sounds made up. Where are you from? He says, like, I grew up on a real farm, a farm in Smallville. And they're like, that sounds made up. I was like, yeah, that's a good line. It is made up.
It is a good line. Yeah.
But yeah, he's depowered, so he kind of teams up with these...
Yeah, he gives them he convinces them. He says, I'll take you to my farm in Smallville if you help me rescue Superman.
That's right. It's a bit, blackmail. They talk about it as blackmail, specifically...
Well, it's more like quid pro quo, but it's implied that Crypto will reveal that Ace has been lying about the farm upstate.
Yes.
I was confused by that too. It's like, why is he calling it blackmail? It sounds just like a straightforward deal.
Yes. What I'm trying to get at is it's not a very... Superman would have put those people... given those people asylum on his farm, whatever they did, they didn't have to do something for him, if you know what I mean. Anyway, it's not relevant. Yeah. Part of the whole... I mean, this has a very cliched story arc about how Crypto has to learn to be like a good person kind of stuff, and all that... And he has to learn to share Clark with Lois. It's all that kind of... moralizing lessons kind of stuff.
It's very boring kind of lesson.
Now we get another funny scene with the guinea pig where she's recruiting other guinea pigs, and she goes to a school because the cage is full of them.
Yeah.
And she powers them all up. Two of them are played by Ben Schwartz and Thomas Middleditch.
Unless you saw this in Australia.
Right.
In which case they were voiced by Julia Morris and Chris Brown, who are two kind of like B-grade Australian celebrities who host I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Oh my god. Got it. Why would they be
Chris Brown is the
Metropolis?
handsome vet.
Yeah, right.
I have no idea. I know there was some regional casting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did
this
notice that
movie.
for some UK voices or something. There were a few that were swapped
So
out.
for Australia, it was those two. I can't imagine why you would cast them. Was there a new season of Get I'm a Celebrity on at the time?
I mean, even Middleditch and Schwartz to me are improv guys that I know from Comedy Bang Bang. But Schwartz was on Parks and Rec. Middleditch was on Silicon Valley 6-7 seasons. So they have some currency, but I mean, they're not
this
huge
was just
names,
blank.
but-
This was just blank slots.
Yes, exactly.
These two guinea pig characters did not need to be in the film
No,
at all.
No.
They have about 6 lines between them.
but they do flip.
Yeah.
They switch sides. They become good at the end. So
Yeah,
they
but
can
it doesn't
kind of-
barely. You know, they don't have any impact on the plot. Not really.
No,
They say that Superman's in the rocket and there's a bomb on the rocket. That's
right. And they are the ones that throw Lulu into the hamburger hot dog.
What's that all about? Where is that a thing? Is that a reference to something?
I don't think so. It was never mentioned earlier in the movie that she hates hot dogs.
Is it
or
just
anything.
disgusting
I
hot
guess,
dog water?
but
Is
we
this-
never.
Does The Rock not like hot
She
dog
was never
water?
presented as a princess or something that couldn't stand
Dirt or
dirt. Yeah, no, I don't know why.
didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
That was anyway. So yeah, they were just. It was just a blank gap,
Right.
a gap in which you could put regional
Right.
talent.
Got
and
it.
so for Australia, it was those two.
Right.
Bizarre choice.
Right. Okay, so now the guinea pigs, the super guinea pigs, fight the Justice League who show up and beat them.
Yeah.
And capture them.
Yes. The super guinea pigs.
And Lulu wants to rescue Lex.
Yeah.
By the way, Lulu has a tag on her ear because she's a test animal, which is
Says
LV1U, which looks like Lulu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And on the back it says LexCorp.
it does say Lex.
Incidentally, as she's taking Superman off to the LexCorp building to imprison him, or what we find out is imprison him, she says, "And now the death of Superman,"
Yes,
which I also
yes.
Smile
I
at
also
that.
like when
we've talked about the death of Superman.
when
in
Wonder
previous
Woman
episodes.
gets Lulu in her magic lasso of truth, and Lulu says the boots are a bit much. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a funny line here where so the jailer are beaten, and the super pets, our hero pets, are like, well, what can we do about it? There's a funny line where Chip says we don't even have opposable thumbs, and he's using his cartoon. He's flicking his cartoon thumbs, and we get a very obvious climax scene here where they talk about this super punch that Superman or Krypto could do if they fly into the sun.
Solar paw punch, was it?
Solar paw punch. They could fly into the sun and fly back with so much power that they could defeat anything, but it would destroy them, the puncher and the punchy.
Yeah.
And it was like, come on. It's just sitting there in the middle of the movie. It's so obvious, like they're going to try to pull this thing off. Okay, so at this point, somebody had...
They have a fight with the guinea pigs, but they don't really
That's
pull
right.
it off because they're not a team yet.
Yes.
They have to, this is from, as you say, script writing 101.
Yeah.
They need to have their lowest point
Yes.
before they can come back to
Yes.
be a cohesive team.
And by the way, Lulu found the engagement ring. So she rubs that in Krypto's face, almost literally, saying, your master was going to abandon you, kind of thing.
Yep. Don't care about any of it. She sends him to the Justice League headquarters for some reason.
Yeah.
She says, because he's going to have to live there once Superman kicks him
There is
out.
a dog door in the Justice League headquarters.
There was.
A dog flap, which I liked.
The other pets catch up with him there, and they all go into the.
Yeah, and we get Ace's backstory.
Yeah. He was like a puppy, and he
bit the baby.
Well, he
girl in
saved
his
the baby
family.
girl from falling down the stairs.
Right.
And because when saving her, he left an imprint of his teeth in her arm, they immediately took him to the pound.
Yeah.
Where he's apparently been ever since. So he was with them for... Like, the baby didn't age. Neither did he. So he was with them for, what, like a week?
Huh. I didn't think about that.
And he's been living in the pound ever since. Like,
Yeah.
the animal shelter, I mean.
Yeah.
And he's quite a big dog now. But anyway, the whole point of it's so that, you know, like, the cliche is that, oh, you know, I saved her and I don't care that I lost my family.
Yeah.
I'd do it again because dogs give unconditional love, they say.
Yeah.
And being a hero is about doing what's right even if it hurts.
Isn't it weird that crypto has to be taught
How to be
about unconditional love, the existence of it, and that dogs are supposed to be... It's a weird thing where, because they've been anthropomorphized so much into people, it's like...
Shouldn't you instinctively know it? Why are you being taught about being a dog
right, it should be an instinct.
when you are one?
Because Ace has it as instinct, it seems like.
Well, Crypto is an alien.
He is an alien, that's true.
Maybe dogs are different on Krypton. Maybe they're assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they're like Super Olsen. I don't know, but anyway, so Crypto figures out, wait a second, what does Lulu want? And he's like, Lulu must want to rescue Lex.
Yeah.
So now there's like 40 minutes left, and I'm like, okay, we're kind of approaching climax, but I was like, I bet you at the end there's going to be some super big thing like we had at the end of Mutant Mayhem and all these other movies.
Gotta have it.
Where there's one climax, but oh no, then this bigger thing shows up to stomp on the city.
Yep, you gotta have it.
But this came out the year before, so, you know, I guess
just lots of movies.
Mayhem was stuck
They
doing
all
it.
do it.
Yes, they all do it, of course. Okay, so then they meet the Streaky, the cat, which was a cat the one animal that was
Whiskers.
rescued by Lulu, Whiskers, at the beginning when she
Voiced
left.
by the kid, the most talented person on the whole cast.
Yeah.
She's like, there's a great bit where she sings the Freddy Krueger song in the alley.
Yeah.
It's just like Freddy Krueger 2.
Yeah.
1, 2, I'm coming for you, she says. This was just something they apparently came up with during shooting, during recording. They were just tossing ideas around, and the director, Jared Stern, apparently said to the little girl, oh, what, you should sing this song, we'll do it, it'll be like that bit in Nightmare on Elm Street 2 where Freddy's walking down the... Or is it in the first one, where he's walking down the alley with the creepy long arms?
That's the first one for sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, and then apparently he went to the music people at Warner's afterwards, and they were like, well, you can't just put music in. But then you didn't tell us you put this in here, but then they went away, and then they realised that because Nightmare on Elm Street is a New Line movie, Warner Brothers owns the property the right to this song. So they just had to go through, they could just put it in anyway.
Yeah. So they managed to defeat this cat thanks to the speedy turtle.
Yep.
And they actually combine all their powers to trap it and seal it and all that kind of stuff.
Now they're working like as a team.
Yeah.
And Crypto's kind of like the brains, because even though he's depowered, he knows about the heroing business, I guess.
So Lulu gets to the villain prison where Lex is locked up.
It's called Stryker's Island.
Stryker's Island instead of Riker's Island. I don't know. Stryker's confusing because that's the bad guy in the X-Men.
Yeah.
Senator or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not animal related as far as I can tell.
Yeah,
why not just call it Riker's Island?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's a thing in DC. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, Lulu rescues Lex, fights through all the robot guards, rescues Lex, but Lex locks her in a cell and gets his own henchwoman out.
Yep.
She's played by Maya Erskine, by the way. I know her from Pen 15, this trauma sitcom. I don't know what the name of this genre is that she did.
More stunt casting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. And couldn't you get a voice actor to play her? It has to be an actor from
I know that show that, I know that show, but I don't know a lot of other people that know who she... I think everyone's she was in that Mr. and Mrs. Smith that came out last year, the TV series. But anyway...
there's no... they haven't got Billy West or...
No.
Or a person that specialises in voice work that you would... Instead, they just... got out of the Rolodex and just called up random actors.
Do they think it's going to draw people into the cinema?
I guess.
To get this because Ben Schwartz or Maya Erskine are in it? I don't think so. It's such an odd choice. Anyway.
Yeah, just random, random actors.
Yeah. Yeah, very random.
Patty, the woman that owns the animal shelter, is played by Yvette Nicole Brown.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay.
From like Community.
Yeah. You know,
Are they just casting a lot of people from Nerd?
wait, there's some SNL people, there's some Community people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Incidentally, Yvette Nicole Brown does play Amanda Waller in 4 DC superhero girls TV movies.
Keith David was also in Community
Oh,
in the last season.
So have we got a Community connection here, maybe?
Maybe.
Didn't think to connect those dots. Oh, well. I'll check next week. Stay tuned.
Okay, so Lulu has been betrayed by Lex.
Yes.
She thought Lex was on the same wavelength as her.
Yeah.
That
So they were
partners.
peers. Partners. They weren't.
No.
In fact, Lex, because he's a villain, he's like, I'm not sharing credit with a rodent. He shoves her in a cell.
Yeah.
But of course, instead of being contrite and realizing the errors of her ways, now we're moving towards the final act, I suppose. And
Yeah.
she's going to punish Lex and kill Superman to take vengeance on Krypto for daring to pity her or making him as miserable as she is, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She's her fluffy henchman, the guinea pig, set her free.
Yeah.
Yeah, off they go.
Yes.
Krypto excretes the green kryptonite and is able to escape from the cell.
Yes. He literally turds it out, apparently.
We don't see it, but
No.
it's implied.
Yeah.
Because Ace can smell sandalwood, and apparently because Krypto's poo smells like sandalwood, because he's a super dog.
Yeah. Yeah. But when they escape, Lois Lane is covering this action in a news helicopter, Daily Planet helicopter. The superheroes, the human superheroes, have been shot into space in this rocket, which was the penthouse of LexCorp.
Yep.
So they're going in two directions. Krypto can't save them both. So Krypto's like, I'll
old
save the
sadistic
helicopter.
choice,
You guys go stop that rocket that's going to space. This seems reversed to me. I think the Superdog should be the one to fly into space and stop the rockets going to space, and the pets should save the helicopter.
Yes, it should have been, but they've done it for dramatic reasons.
Of course. But logically...
But also, I don't think the super pets could have saved Lois. I did think about this, because you're right, it does seem reversed.
It's like, okay, if you have Batman and Superman, Batman should try to save the helicopter, and Superman should save the rocket ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Or in this case, a rocket seems like a... Yeah, exactly.
This is a job for
This is a
Superman.
Superman-level problem, and a falling helicopter is a job for regular man.
Yeah.
And Krypto is much more powerful than the other members of the League of Super Pets.
Yeah.
However, I think... First of all, it's obvious why they've done it, because Krypto needs to save Lois to show that he's not jealous of her, that he's grown as a character.
Right.
The other reason, I did think about this, because it struck me too. The other reason I think is because I don't think it's possible for the League of Super Pets to get to the helicopter in time.
I see.
Lulu has thrown it quite far away.
Okay.
I think only Krypto can get to it, whereas the rocket is directly overhead of the Super Pets. And they even lampshade it. Like Ace says, a rocket?
Yeah, right. You're right.
We're supposed to stop a damn rocket?
Yeah.
And he says, I trust you, and he flies off.
Yeah.
So I think it works.
Okay. Now some more orange kryptonite appears from somewhere. Where did that come from? But Lulu...
No, it's Lulu's own... She's had it around her neck the whole time.
Oh, but it turns her giant.
Well, what happens is she... when Krypto knocks her into... defeats her, it shatters.
Yeah.
To signify her... It seems like it signifies her defeat.
Right.
Although it doesn't depower her, because once you've been exposed to the orange kryptonite, then it demonstrates a capability that's never been demonstrated before. She kind of powders it with her telekinesis and kind of snorts it like cocaine.
Okay, got it.
And it goes into her brain and into her cells, and she becomes really giant.
Oh, right, of course. Okay, got it.
Then she's out, and she's an unstoppable force, and Krypto, of course, has to use the solar punch or solar paw punch in order to defeat her, which should have killed him, but Ace manages to block
him. Okay, so this is...
Doesn't make sense.
This is a thing that happened before, is Ace had to cushion somebody's fall.
Canine shield.
Canine shield. So they've established that this is a thing that can...
He's done it at least twice.
Yeah.
That's his job.
So my understanding was Krypto flying into the sun and flying back... It's not the hitting the earth that would kill him. It was just the being overpowered, juiced up, that would somehow be too much power would kill him.
Yeah.
But here it seems like the problem is hitting the earth, and he's saved by Ace the
doesn't make sense. I agree. It doesn't make sense. Surely the impact and the release of the collected solar energy is what.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like in All-Star Superman, being exposed to solar energy too close and your cells all blowing up. Then the moment of impact when you release all the power, that should have torn him to pieces.
Yes.
But instead, we see him flying backwards from it, and then Ace sort of jumps on him, and that saves him somehow. Yeah, I agree. It didn't make the lick of sense.
No.
And also, these are dogs. I so didn't care.
Yes.
I had, at no point in this film did I care about what Crypto wanted or needed to learn.
No, because it was paper thin. Like, it was just like all these other CGI kids movies that have some sort of, even a 10-minute episode of Bob the Builder has some sort of, what's the moral of this one kind of thing.
I just had no... he was just a carefree zone. I just had no interest or...
Yeah. So the pets, each of the animals goes and associates with a different superhero.
Yeah, they
as you mentioned, Chip ends up becoming actually Chip, the Green Lantern.
Yeah, every superhero gets a pet. There's a funny bit where Ace and Keanu Reeves Batman sort of compare starts of darkness or traumatic backstories.
Yes.
Traumatic backstories. And we get some sort of comic style panels where they're like, I lost my family.
Yes.
Yes. It's kind of weird. I don't understand why the moral is you need a pet. Pets need an owner.
Yeah.
Well,
what? Go to your local rescue shelter.
Rescue animals?
Adopt a pet. Not sure. And then we get end credits, which are done in line art style, which so many CGI animated movies do. This is not a new idea for this movie.
All do it.
I've seen it 100
Wall-E did
times.
it. They all do it. Why do they all do it? It's just like they have this playbook.
Yeah. End credits must be done in line art style. Why?
Because the other movies all did it.
We get 2 credit sequences, or 2 scenes in the. There's a mid credits one.
Which is the Black Adam one with the...
No, that's the very end. This one, we get to see the guinea pig, Lulu, being rescued from the hot dog by Lex Luthor's assistant in the green power armor.
This assistant's barely in the movie.
Yeah.
I guess it's supposed to be funny how exasperated she is and how put upon she is, but she's in the movie so little that there's no time for any of that to... snag.
Yeah.
And her showing up at the end, I couldn't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
Also...
In fact, you forgot the scene was there.
I did. I did.
Yep. And then we get a final end credits. By the way, I mean, do kids' movies need to have end credit sequences? I can't...
The Rock put it in. I guarantee it.
Yes, I agree. But if I was... I mean, I really wanted to be watching this movie with a 6-year-old. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, I really wish there was a 6-year-old kid sitting next to me that I could gauge their laughter and stuff. And also gauge, can they sit through 7 minutes of credits to get to a scene at the end, which is connected to some other thing that isn't going to make sense to them.
It's so nuts that it's in it, that end credit sequence. There's some dialogue about what is an anti-hero, some kind of very self-aware... Like, a kid is not going to get anything out of this. Black Adam certainly wasn't a film that's aimed at children.
Yeah.
I think The Rock put this in.
Right.
The fact that he voices
he was trying to launch a Black Adam universe, for sure.
He put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Also, this film was supposed to come out in May 2022.
Okay.
But its release date got pushed back because Black Adam's release date got pushed back. And this film ended up taking Black Adam's release date.
Okay.
There was no reason to push this film's release date back. It was already finished.
Yeah.
They only pushed it back so it would be closer to the release of Black Adam.
Satisfy what The Rock's requirements were for this universe that he was unrolling.
I can only imagine that was a part of it.
Okay. All right. Do we have any trivia?
Yeah, sure.
By the way, I know one piece of trivia, which is one of the shockers was the first time I heard about this movie a month ago, and I went on Wikipedia and was like, I was Googling, what is this Rock movie with crypto? Budget of $90 million?
Yep.
I was like, how can a movie that cost back in the 90s, when Terminator 2 came out, and it was $90 million or $115, we were losing our minds. We're like, how can a movie cost that much? This is crazy. Now it's just like, no ads, no social media presence, no footprint whatsoever. Okay, give us your trivia, please.
Yeah, okay, so it cost $90 million. The box office was $207.6 million. Okay. So, solid but unremarkable.
Yeah.
I saw it described as.
Okay.
Not a runaway success, but it made back its budget.
Okay.
On the Black Adam, though, the I guess it's partner film in the launch of the Rock DC cinematic universe was not a success.
Yeah.
So we haven't. I don't know if there's any buzz about a sequel to this movie.
You know, if I'd known this end credit scene was here, I might have disqualified this movie.
Right.
From the podcast.
Right. Oh, too late now.
It just occurred to me.
Well, you might have to disqualify the Lego Batman movie then, because it's the Lego cinematic universe, eh?
Think about that.
So exceptions can be made.
Yes.
So Stern, it was Jared Stern's kind of idea.
Okay.
He first pitched the film as early as 2012 to the Warner Brothers animation arm at the time, which was being established at the time. Since been folded into another part of Warner Brothers. In fact, this was the last film to be made by that particular animation wing as it existed. He got the idea when he was working in a pet shelter.
Okay.
He said that he noticed that older animals were much less likely to be adopted and that they were kept in a back room quite often. And he said, quote, "It was sad to me and they seemed so powerless.
Yeah.
I don't know why, maybe because I'd been watching a lot of superhero movies, I was just like, what if those pets got superpowers?"
You know what? That is an interesting comment because we're doing this episode because of the James Gunn Superman movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've got on my brain at the moment. We're not going to cover that on the show because I bet there's 30,000 other podcasts that are doing it, so we don't need to. But that dog, the crypto in that movie specifically was James Gunn's rescue dog, Ozu, who he modeled all I don't know how they mocap. I don't know how you put a dog in a mocap suit, but you
would just take a lot of footage.
That's what they just animate it. So it's kind of similar that they were both based on like a real animals inspiring them. Okay.
Yeah. I've read 2 interviews with him, both published in 2022. He said that originally Ace had a bigger role.
Okay.
And then, originally that was sort of Ace and Crypto were going to have a sort of equal time in the story, and then something happened.
Oh.
In the interview, he says, it became clear that the real A story of the movie was between Crypto and Superman, and that everything needed to support that.
Whoa.
End quote.
Wow.
Ace still has a great arc in the film, as do all the other characters, the Justice League, the other pets. I hope the goal was to have those arcs really feed into the main story of Crypto and Superman. And I'll just leave it there.
Yep. You don't need to say any more about that business. Yep.
Keanu Reeves, Jared Stern, big fan of Keanu Reeves, like all people. He said about Reeves, he said, "It was cool. I'm such a huge fan. I was nervous at first, but he set me at my ease. I remember the first time we recorded him, he was doing stunt work, maybe rehearsals for John Wick 4 in Berlin." So Keanu Reeves is just doing all his voice work from Berlin. He said he was coming from a day of fighting, and I said to him something like, "Well, hopefully this will be a little easier. We're just talking in a booth." And he said something like, "Nothing's easier." Which I loved. Because it meant that he was going to be committed. Apparently, Keanu Reeves is a big comic book fan.
Right.
Loves Batman.
Huh.
Absolutely, quote, "He was psyched like a kid in a candy store to be Batman. He had a lot of fun with it." When he started cracking himself up, not all the time, not one of those people who breaks on everything they say, but every now and again he would laugh, and I would ask him, "Are you having fun?" One final anecdote from Stern about Keanu. He said, because of COVID, this was recorded during COVID, we had all these weird schedules. He was in Berlin. Sometimes I would stay up or wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning to record him for an hour. Normally that would be the most miserable experience ever, to have to wake yourself up at 3 in the morning, but in this case I was like, this is so cool, I'm going to record Keanu Reeves. Yeah, cute.
Yeah.
So there were about 70 animators worked in the film, most of them based in Vancouver.
Okay.
But some in Sydney. So like this podcast, an Australian-Canadian co-production.
Okay.
Took 2 years, and but they had an extra 3 to 4 months to work on it because of the release date being pushed back, partly because of COVID and partly because of the postponing of Black Adam.
Yeah.
And there was no release in China.
Huh.
Maybe because of Keanu Reeves and his staunch pro-Tibetan stance.
Oh. Huh. Curious.
And that's about all I have as far as trivia is concerned.
Okay. I'm surprised they didn't recast Keanu.
Yeah, it seems... That's why I'm not 100% sure about
probably
this.
another $50 million they could have gotten out of that market.
Just put a different voice in.
Yeah, especially since we're subbing in other people left and right. Okay, all right, let's vote on these Silver Age comics.
I love talking about them, but I don't love reading them.
Okay.
I've consistently voted nay on all the Silver Age Superman comics we've read. I'm not changing that today. It's nay for me.
Okay. I read them twice because I owned the book, and then I thought, let's do Super Pets next week. Read them again. So I'm very cool with them. But we have this issue every time we do Silver Age Superman comics. I'm just like, I'm here for them. This movie had, as I said, some moments, but was just generic, so generic, and blah, and just uninteresting, and I will not remember it tomorrow.
No, same. It has some moments of levity, some funny gags, but that's not enough to carry a whole film. And so much of the casting is weird and lame.
Yeah.
And the story's boring, and it's just all about Crypto, and Crypto is a charisma-free zone.
Yes, that's a big problem. Absolutely huge problem. Your main character is just not interesting, and his journey's not interesting. Absolutely.
Too right. And also, as you said, it's kind of boring to look at.
Yes.
Especially compared to things like Spider-Verse and Mutant Mayhem, which are contemporaneous films.
Yeah.
It's funny reading about... Like, I read an article published in Animation Magazine in 2022 where they're talking about how they were trying to make it look like Silver Age art.
What?
Or Golden Age art. Or using Art Deco-inspired elements. And I'm watching the film and I just don't see any of it. They said visible brush strokes, for example. There's no visible brush strokes.
That's something I noticed very much, was that you hardly see the fur. You watch Kung Fu Panda and the animals are really...
Yeah.
They've got that kind of furry quality, and I was just like, these just look pretty smooth. This looks like, like we get these TV CGI shows, like, you watch the TV version of
like
How to Train Your Dragon versus the cinematic version.
Yeah. You can see the budget difference.
You can see it, and this looked like a TV version of this.
Sometimes, like, Crypto's eyebrows, or sometimes there'd be a close-up of his paws, and you could sort of see maybe what they're talking about. Some swirls.
Yeah, right.
But almost never, and you had to get really close.
Yeah.
Why even bother?
Yeah.
Just... It doesn't look anything like a comic.
No.
It just looks like... There was a Paw Patrol gag, actually, in the film.
Yes,
it just looks like Paw Patrol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Block colours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no.
Yeah. Adaptation...
I think it's a clear no.
Yeah. For me, it did not feel like the craziness of those comics at all. Yeah, I don't mind that they replaced the animals with different animals or gave them powers.
That's not the problem.
That was not the issue at all. It was just...
It's just because of how formulaic this film is, right? Like we said, it's like they have a playbook.
Yeah.
Script writing 101, or make an animated DreamWorks style movie 101, and we'll just pick up these characters which were so loopy in their original incarnations and just drop them in their designated roles and then print it.
Yeah. And then they just sound
That's not adaptation. That's... Yeah, and it's just
Zootopia or Secret Life of Pets or any of those other movies. Just...
Well, Zootopia is a really cool movie. I mean...
Yes. But they're trying for that snappy dialogue thing.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's not adaptation. You could have dropped literally anything in those roles and it would have looked exactly the same.
Yes.
So, nay.
Agreed. Okay, please like, rate, review, subscribe. Please especially review us on Apple Podcasts, because that puts to the other websites, etc. Please contact us through the email address which is in the show notes, or you can send us a DM on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, or leave a comment on YouTube, or come over and visit our Reddit. All of those links are in the show notes. And please join our Patreon at patreon.com/comicbookmovieoblivion. All one word. Okay, next week I'm still in Superman mode, so we're going to do the Justice League TV movie from the 90s.
This is going to be cool.
It is on Daily Motion.
Okay.
And there are also torrents of it hanging around, and probably easier to just watch the Daily Motion. It's pretty fuzzy, so it's not a great copy. I don't know where it came from. It's not supposed to be online, but it is. What else? Oh, we'll be reading the first maybe 6 issues of Justice League International.
Okay.
That series, which started around 88 or 89, I think. And that's probably all the setup we'll need.
Great. See you then.